Welcome to Insights into Northeast Michigan, a WBKB News public affairs program. Insights deals with the issues affecting those within the community, as well as Northeast Michigan and the state. And now, Insights into Northeast Michigan.
Welcome to Insights. I'm Sherry Stewart. This week we're excited to tell you about a new video learning platform that's designed specifically for seniors. It's designed to help keep you connected with family and friends throughout the holiday season. Today we'll be talking with a spokesperson from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, as well as a co-founder of the platform. Well, kicking off today's interview is Dr. Alexis Travis with the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Sherry.
And I know you are in collaboration with Get Set Up. This is a great partnership to provide online learning opportunities for our senior population. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic, older adults continue to be highest risk for complications from coronavirus. Actually, right now in our state, 88% of COVID-related deaths are in older adults 60 plus. So with that, older adults have been encouraged to take the strictest precautions, and this includes social distancing or physical distancing for a better expression. With that, many people have been turning to online solutions, and we know that there is a digital divide that keeps people away from technology, but also some older adults, not all older adults, but some have struggled with knowledge and baseline skill set around technology. So the partnership with Get Set Up came about because we wanted to provide older adults a way to connect with each other, stay connected with their families, and learn how to use online resources during this time of COVID.
Yeah, and I think what is so interesting about this, Doctor, is that the classes are free. There's no cost to the end user. So is this grant funded? How are you able to provide such a great resource?
Yeah, that's right, Sherry. There's 150 classes that are being offered, and those are being offered for free to older adults to be able to use. The funding for this program was provided by the Michigan Health Endowment Fund as part of a rapid response grant, specifically to support our COVID response for older adults. So we are able to provide that service free to older adults. And we know that in the early days, this has just been launched a few weeks ago. We've had thousands of older adults already signing up for classes.
Yeah, I saw something here that you have over 2.5 million Michiganders 60 and older. So there are certainly a lot of people that will be hopping online to learn some more information just to stay connected with people.
Yeah, and they can choose any of the course offerings, and there's no cap on the number of courses that can be taken, and those are available 8 hours a day. And so, what I've heard from early users is that it gives their day a purpose. Having even one class that they'll take gives their day a little bit of structure, something to look forward to, being able to connect with older adults socially. And what's really great about this platform is that the classes are actually taught by older adults. Many of the teachers are, retired teachers or social workers who used to connect with people on a daily basis professionally, and they understand the barriers and the specific preferences of older learners. And so that's been a really great aspect of the courses as well.
That's wonderful. Now, did you model this partnership after anything specific? Is this something totally new outside of COVID-19? What was the modeling for this offering?
Yeah, so Get Set Up is a newer tech startup. We have not had any state units on aging like the Aging and Adult Services Agency across the country doing this. So we're a pioneering state in this space. Other nonprofit organizations have also partnered with Get Set Up. Organizations like the YMCA, AARP are starting to partner with Get Set Up. But in terms of a state unit on agency, Michigan is the first. And that's because we've been attuned to the needs of older adults for quite a while in terms of social isolation. In fact, in Michigan, we did a study starting last year going into this year on older adults and isolation, but that issue has only gotten worse since this pandemic began. And so I guess that's why we were a little bit further ahead when it came to the Get Set Up partnership.
Yeah, and we know that our seniors are such an important population in our community. So I want to talk a little bit more about that study. Certainly, this whole pandemic has, I believe, put stress on everyone, and certainly our seniors. Can you tell us a little bit about what you actually found in that research about how important this platform is?
Yeah, so that study is still ongoing. We've had some recommendations that came out of our state advisory committee, and part of that was to make sure that we're assisting with older adults getting technology. And we've been able to do that with funding that we've received for the coronavirus response. We've been able to partner with faith-based organizations to make sure that older adults are able to access both hardware and software to be able to engage with technology. And this Get Set Up project is, again, another aspect of our approach to, narrowing that digital divide, making sure that people can access both the hardware and the software and know how to use it.
And absolutely, and I would guess you would agree certainly that this will be important as we're just coming out of Thanksgiving, but also as we move into just another couple of weeks, we'll be having another holiday.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we're recommending that older adults follow the public health guidance, but also think of ways to stay connected virtually with their loved ones at this time. And there are so many different cost offerings for Get Set Up. Some of the favorite ones so far have been, how to get started with Zoom, how to get started with Gmail, fun ways to use your smartphone, lots of different offerings. And so we also hope it will help people to fill up their time, because we know people will have more time for this holiday season. And so definitely encourage people to explore the offerings on the Get Set Up website.
Well, Dr. Travis, we want to thank you for joining us today and sharing information about this great platform.
Thank you, Sherry.
Insights will return after these messages.
So welcome back to Insights. Joining me now is Larry Kosick. He is the co-founder of this exciting program, Get Set Up. Thank you, Lawrence, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Sherry. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I know we have so much to talk about this great platform, but first let's talk a little bit about your company. I understand that you're mission driven. Tell me a little bit about that.
So Get Set Up is an interactive learning platform for older adults. And so what that really means is we are a place where older adults, meaning 60 plus, can both come and be upskilled to be teachers, where they then get to teach other older adults the things they need to learn to live happy, healthy, and more connected lives.
Yeah, and I like how you use the term upskilled. So is that probably building on what we already know?
So our guides, we call our reskilled teachers guides, but in many cases, they have a passion for teaching something in particular, but they might just need a little bit of training to learn how to teach, via Zoom or via video, which is a little different than teaching in a physical classroom.
Yeah.
And so we'll provide them with that little bit of training so that they can then help others just like them learn the skills that they would like to learn.
Mm-hmm. And so I know the state of Michigan announced your collaboration not too long ago, just in October, just a month ago. How is that going?
It's going great. We are very pleased to be able to partner with the state of Michigan and Health and Human Services to offer these classes to Michiganders. And we're lucky enough because Health and Human Services worked with the Michigan Health Endowment Fund to fund these classes so that they would be free to the end users. So Michiganders can use and take these classes for free because they are being paid for and subsidized by the Health Endowment Fund. So it's a great opportunity to help those who might be stuck at home, particularly now because of Thanksgiving and Christmas and COVID. You can't see your families, friends, and loved ones. Well, we can teach you how to do that virtually so that you can still reach out and connect with with those families and friends using tools like Zoom or Gmail or Facebook.
Yeah, as we just coming out of Thanksgiving, so tell me, let's jump into how the platform works, and certainly we know just by what you shared so far that it's going to be certainly helpful for seniors in our state. But how exactly does it work, and how do they take advantage of it?
So these classes are interactive classes. So the learners, they learn by doing, not by watching, right? So historically, people would go to YouTube, or they might go to another sort of video-based service and watch something that they might want to learn. We've found that sort of this demographic, including me, my demographic, we learn better by doing something. So the typical format of one of our classes, which again is a live interactive class, so users can come in and ask questions and have dialogue. But say, for example, they're taking a class on how to learn how to use Uber. Instead of just watching a video, imagine, if you will, a 68-year-old guide, right, a reskilled teacher who's teaching, say, 4 to 8 other folks how to download. First, they'll go to iTunes, for example. They'll learn how to download the Uber app. They'll learn how to authenticate, log in, connect a payment method, and then they'll talk about the features and functionality of the app, and then they'll learn how to book an actual ride, so that by the time the class is done, everybody's tried it and done it, so that they have some level of independence afterwards. So it's a very sort of an interactive class where, again, they learn by doing, not by watching.
Mm-hmm. And that's very interesting. So you say you have this research, and this demographic needs the hands-on experience rather than just being told how to do something.
Exactly right. Exactly right. I think that, and I consider that sort of true of me as well. I think that when I get to do something, and I'm doing it with somebody who's of a similar age, there's sort of a magic, right? I'm not intimidated. I'm not nervous, because I have somebody like me, similar speed, patience, and empathy, helping me learn at my speed something that might be very helpful or useful in my life. And while I'm doing it, I can ask questions, and I might make some friends along the way.
That's really exciting. So would the people in the class, are they just Michiganders, or would it be people from different parts of the state, or is it just Michiganders that would be in a specific class?
For the most part, it's Michiganders. And what we've tried to do is, because I mentioned earlier that we upskill those who want to teach the others who want to learn, we are openly and actively trying to recruit additional guides from the Michigan region, so that we can have Michiganders teaching and learning with other Michiganders, right? So to the extent that we can do that, it's really quite a fun way to sort of have local folks helping local folks.
And so we know that technology can be a little bit intimidating sometimes. Some of, for example, the IT person in our home may be the 5-year-old, believe that or not, right? So before we go to break, can you tell us how we can break through that barrier of being intimidated by technology?
I mean, I think just giving it a try. I think when you realize that there's a lot of other people just like us struggling with the same thing, and that there's a place to go, that being sort of Get Set Up in partnership with Michigan, and you can meet other folks who are thinking and struggling with the same thing, and in a fun, casual format, you can learn how to get into a class and then start in a sort of introductory way. And as you get more comfortable, you can learn more things, but you are with people that are just like you, challenged with the same thing and overcoming and having fun doing it. I think that is actually key.
Lawrence, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we want to talk a little bit more about some of the classes that are available.
Insights will return after these messages.
Welcome back to Insights. We are continuing our conversation with Larry Kosick. He is the co-founder of Get Set Up, and this is a wonderful platform that's providing free learning for our seniors to help them stay connected with family and friends, certainly throughout this pandemic. So, Lawrence, at the break, we were talking about how folks can move past that barrier of being intimidated by technology. So, what are some of the great courses that folks can take advantage of?
We have over 200 courses on the platform today. There are courses in every conceivable category, but a great place to start is with like the orientation. So you can come to the website and you can learn how to browse and search and navigate and find the interesting courses for you. For many people, the place to start, for example, might be learn how to use Zoom. And at this particular time of the year, and many people who can't see each other at Thanksgiving, they might want to use a tool like Zoom so that they can communicate with their friends, family, and loved ones. And so Zoom would be one of the most popular classes for someone new to take. And it's a great place to start because once you know how to use Zoom, you can enjoy so many other classes on the platform.
Yeah, and I would agree that that has to probably be one of your most important, maybe even your most popular, of course, because we're trying to stay connected throughout this whole entire pandemic. It's been very challenging, I know, for so many people.
Yes, absolutely. But once you learn how to use Zoom and feel comfortable with it, and sometimes it takes people a few sessions, after that, they might want to learn more about sort of how to feel comfortable with their iPhone or their Android phone or a tablet like an iPad, learn how to use Facebook, Instagram, in some cases LinkedIn. We have folks who might be wanting to kind of brush up on their resume, and LinkedIn is sort of your digital resume. So working with one of our guides to optimize that so that you can make new connections and perhaps find some additional work, right, is also a popular course. But there's a lot of fun things like sharing recipes and all sorts of different, learning new games and playing bingo online. There's a lot of fun things that that learners can enjoy on the platform once they feel comfortable with Zoom.
Yeah, I love the idea that it's learning, but you're also making it fun. So I did see that there was a sharing opportunity for what to do with the leftovers for Thanksgiving. So I'm sure that was a very popular course and well attended.
Absolutely. There's a lot of classes which are sort of more social and more casual, where people are just visiting, and maybe it could be a book club, or it could be sharing recipes, or it could be discussing a sports topic. But there are more structured classes, and there are a lot of sort of social hours that are really just fun opportunities to come and chat and meet new people.
Now, is the platform, is it available 24/7, or are there certain parameters there?
The classes are available. There's probably 12 to 14 hours a day of classes available. So it's not 24 hours, but there are a lot of classes for the folks out there who can't sleep.
That is really exciting. What is some of the feedback that you're getting from people, from your learners, as well as those that are actually providing the instruction?
We get a lot of feedback, and we get a lot of feedback because we ask. I think that it's important for us to understand, how are people enjoying the current classes? What would they like to see more of? What would they like to see less of? I think that people have been asking for more social hours. They like to come for the classes, and then they like to stay and hang out after a while and visit a little bit, or maybe talk with the guides if they have some additional questions that they didn't get a chance to ask in class. But we get regular feedback, not only for the classes they take, but we ask them what other kinds of classes they'd like to see. And so while we offer 200 classes on the platform now, we probably have an additional 300 plus classes that will be coming that have all been suggestions by the users.
This is really, really fascinating. Just a great opportunity for our seniors to stay connected, to get connected, I should say, and then to stay connected. With your expertise, and we certainly know that the pandemic is, as I said earlier, has been challenging in just about every way we can imagine. But for technology, how do you believe this has changed our interactions and how we will view technology going forward?
I mean, our whole goal is to make technology as friendly and as frictionless as possible, almost so you don't have to think about it, right? Because sometimes we imagine these barriers and we imagine them to be sort of larger and more insurmountable than they actually are. And so we feel like if we have sort of older adults, folks like me, teaching other folks how these these technology, either products or services, can be overcome with a little bit of learning and learning with others just like us, it becomes less of a barrier. And sometimes the biggest challenge when I put on my technology hat and I think about sort of what we're trying to do at Get Set Up, we use technology to make technology less obvious and less of a barrier. Like, simplicity is everything. And so how do you use good technology to remove the barriers of technology so that they become less of a hurdle for the folks who, like, make it easier to get into classes and make it more seamless to use the scheduling tool. And make it easier to log on from any kind of different device. And so those are all challenges, but ones that we're determined to solve at Get Set Up. And every time we do, we make it a little easier for people to get in and enjoy classes.
That's fantastic. And before we let you go today, Lawrence, what is the website for people to go on so that they can start getting involved and connected?
Yes, so people can come to getsetup.io/Michigan, and they can enjoy a whole host of really interesting classes across a lot of different subjects. Now, particularly, there's some Thanksgiving classes that will be really helpful and really fun this particular week. But thank you for taking the time to chat with me, Sherry. And I'd really like to thank, the folks at Health and Human Services in Michigan, Dr. Alexa Travis, Jen and Sophia, and the team that made all of this possible. So thank you to them, and thank you for taking the time with me today so that we could tell you a little bit more.
Absolutely, and happy holidays to you, and we thank you. We certainly know that this will make the holiday season a little bit brighter for folks as they can connect. So thanks again.
Thanks so much, Sherry.
Well, that does it for this week's Insights. If you have a question, comment, or story idea, we'd love to hear from you. You can email us at news@wbkb11.com. I'm Sherry Stewart. Thank you for watching, and have a great week.
Insights into Northeast Michigan is produced by WBKB News. This has been a production of Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved.